Hey guys, Rob Mitchell here, oil trading room, stock index trading room, IndicatorSmart.com. Today I'm going to cover today's market maps, market playbook for day trading. I'm going to cover them both for the E-mini S&P and for crude oil. And we have a different map each day. We've got other maps that we use, but I'm just going to show you what we have for today for these, so you can get a little feel of what we do with these maps. I'm not going to cover everything that we do with the maps. I'm just going to cover some of the simpler patterns so that you can see them and see how you can use market playbook, market mapping, like in the same way you would use a GPS. Yeah, in the same way you'd use a GPS to navigate from one point to another. And what a GPS does is when it follows, you know you're on the right path, and when it doesn't, you know you're not, and you got to correct it. Yeah, you reroute. Yeah, so I'll show you how that works. Okay. First off, past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. There's a risk of loss trading futures. Be smart with your money. Yeah, be smart with your money. Key market playbook concepts we're going to cover today. Market playbook, also known as market mapping. For these maps that we're going to do today, we're going to use 30-minute periods. Yeah, and we're going to show you only one of several maps that we use. I already mentioned that. So the first 30-minute period of the day, I will call it A period, and then B, C, D, E, etc. Yeah, and so they just go in sequence, and that way it doesn't matter what time zone you're in, it matches up. So it's just the first, second, third, etc. Yeah, for A, B, C, D. We're going to look at the sequences to the right of an X on the table that I'm about to show you for each period. Okay, so we're going to look out to the right, and if it's got high numbers going out to the right, we're going to look for the market to follow that. Yeah, and then we're going to also look for numbers going down from the X for protection. I'll pull it up in a minute so you can see it. But if the market's following it as we expect, and we can trade with that with reasonable confidence, like I said, like a GPS. If it's not following, we reroute. And I'll show you an example of a simple example of rerouting. Yeah, what that might look like. So any signal system can work with this, whatever your existing trading method is. If you really like that and you like market mapping, we use the tools from IndicatorSmart, the Smart Super Renko, TrappedTraderOscillatorAdvanced, Smart Momentum, and Smart Price Bands. Yeah, if you want to learn more about those, you could go over to IndicatorSmart.com. Yeah, so this is a map. So we're going to cover the ES. Yeah, and this is for Friday. This map actually comes out on Monday. Yeah, and so you could look at it in advance. These numbers out to the left here that I'm not going to cover right now are in the what we call the European session. Going out to the left here, the European session. And these numbers starting at A, that X right there, that's the X that I was referring to. So what this is saying, if I go out to the right on the X there at A period, it goes 80, and then it goes 70, and then it goes 20. Okay. So what I'm expecting is, I'm expecting from the A period, I'm expecting to go out for 2 periods at 70% in the same direction. Doesn't matter up or down. Doesn't matter up or down. Yeah. And then when I get to D period, I'm expecting that that is not going to continue. Yeah. 80% against continuing. There. So now if I look down from the X, it's saying that I should get a first extreme 90% of the time. Yeah, 90. Yeah, so it's, and if I do that for 3 periods, I expect that that would be protected. I expect it would be protected. But we're going to see that that's actually going to get violated here. Yeah, and when it does that, we'll readjust. Let me see if I can pull up that chart for that. Yeah. I got to figure out how to do it. There we go. So this is the ES. Yeah. This is the ES, and this is the whole day today. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O. Yeah, the market just closed a little while ago. Yeah, so in A period, I expected that to be first, you know, but what happened was it extended higher. Yeah, and so I was expecting it to go higher. And then B period actually came down and it took it out by a couple few ticks. Now, I don't take that entirely seriously, but once it does that, then B becomes my extreme when it goes higher. Yeah, when it goes higher. So let's take another look at that, that map. I can get over there. Yeah, and take another look at that map. So once B period took out the A low, I expected that also to go out at 70% and 100% going down from that B right there to be the first extreme and 80% for the second one. Yeah, and so I expected B to go out into C, and then I expected that D period was not going to make the extreme there. That was the expectation. Now, when it's doing these things as I expect them to do, yeah, see, D did not make a new high right there. So it went A, B, C, B trapped out the A low by a little bit. Okay. B trapped out the A low by a little bit. D did not go higher as expected. Yeah. And then it started trending higher. Now, if we look at that map from that A, and I go all the way out to the end of the day to L period, I expect A to be the first extreme of the day, and I expect L to be the other extreme of the day at 80%. That's pretty amazing, yeah. Yeah, 80%. But B made the low, so I'm going to use B instead. That's what I mean when you have a GPS, you recompute. Now, like I said, when it takes it out only by a couple of ticks, I don't take it as seriously, but I'll still recompute. And so I use that first X for B, yeah. And I use the second extreme on the day as L period, So if I'm making a trend, I consider that, I use the term pulling, that's pulling. Yeah, and you'll notice it's 80% all the way down from L period. So all these X's, all these 30-minute periods in this case are moving out towards L period in the future. That ends up being a prediction. Now, usually when I'm doing this, I like to see some decent numbers going out to the right. 70 is okay. Yeah, I just drew this box on there because that's the thickest box of the day. And so I look for that to, if I counted up all the numbers between A and M period, that would be the one with the greatest density, I could call it. Yeah. Now you'll notice I got a bunch of like 40% numbers and things in here. So I'm not absolutely sure what's going to happen. So I like to do I got a longer term prediction for the whole day, or from C to out to L, etc. But what I like to see is where I'm getting them going out also in the immediate. Yeah, what I mean by that. Okay, so HIJ period, I expect at 70%, but then I also expect K and L to be the other extreme from H period at 90%. I expect I 100%, IJKL 100%. And then look at this. This guy picks up a 100 and a 90 going out KLM. This 90% that M is going to be the other extreme from K. And it's also telling me that it expects to be the other end from all these. So that's actually telling me it's in the same direction in two different ways. Yeah, two different ways. Notice here that X from H period is going down at 90% all the way out here. Yeah, at 90% all the way out. And that this one is 70 protected. I called that protected. And then this one's 90% going out there. And so I expect to see a lot of persistency going out in that same direction through the whole day. And I expect to see L's going to want to take that out. And then these guys pick it up on their own merit and carry it out into KLM. Yeah. And then I don't expect N period to really be the other end. Yeah. And so what does that look like on the chart? It looks like this going up. Yeah. So B becomes the first extreme, and C, D. So D was inside. Yeah. And then E broke, F, G, H, J, K, L, M. Yeah. And this is kind of like our roadmap. Yeah. This is a 816 Smart Super Renko. And I put the periods on here. We use these periods. I can also use these periods to do some other maps that we do as well. There's a stat box that'll come up in this corner and it'll tell you whether or not you're matching it or not. But that's another one. Let's take a quick look at the crude oil one for today. Yeah. Well, that's the E-mini S&P. Something cool's been happening with crude oil lately. We had a similar pattern. Now, you see from K period is the last normal trading period of the day. Yeah. But it goes out, when this goes up like this, it says, okay, K period expects to take out back to G period at 100%. Yeah, 100%. Well, and then 80 and 70. And similar to the ES today, it says that K period would be the other end to A period at 70%. Yeah. Now, this would be a little strange looking at this the first time. Yeah, but once you get used to looking at these patterns, you go, oh, it seems like maybe K period wants to be the other extreme of the day. I've got some really high numbers, but what that's telling you in another way is it's telling you it's going to do it in the same direction, or that it wants to anyways. And anytime you see them going down in high numbers, it's protected. So C period is protected at 100%, or is it protected at 80% if I go out to the left all the way out through K period, the end of the day? That's interesting. From C period, I'm protected at 80% out through the rest of the day, and I expect K period to be the other end from that at 70%. And then as the day goes on, those numbers are actually getting bigger. Yeah. And so let's take a look at what that chart looks like. Let's take a look at what that chart looks like. That was the ES chart, and this is the crude oil chart. Yeah. So this morning, there was this thing that came out in crude oil. It said that they were apparently having an argument with the cartels, that control the oil. And so we had this huge sell-off going down into A period. And actually, I could tell you the predictions that we made over there, but I'll just stick with the map. So once B period broke higher, we expected what? We expected that K period was going to be the other end at initially 70%, but increasing as we go. Now, when you've got a statistic that's increasing as you go, you expect it to be pulling you along. In other words, it's following. Yeah, it's following. So. And the market just traded beautifully with that. I said once we had C period, you were protected out through the rest of the day at 80%, and I just went from there. Yeah. And so you can make large scale predictions, as we were just describing. You can make large scale predictions out for the whole day. You're going to make smaller scale predictions. Okay, I expect C, D, E at 80%. Yeah. Oh, I expected to go from -1 A, B at 80%. Yeah, that one had to get a readjust because A ended up being a low. Very often A is low. Yeah. There's other ways that we could look at this as well. But anyways, just wanted to share these things with you. Yeah, just wanted to share things with you. If you have any questions on this kind of stuff, feel free to reach out to us through the websites. And let me cover a couple more things on this for you. before we go. Okay. Like I said, any signal system can work with this. You can do it in the scale that you want. You can actually start way back in the European session. We use the IndicatorSmart tools. These maps are available on Monday. Yeah. So it's not like we're pulling this out as it's happening or something like that. You can actually pull this map up on Monday and take a look at it. Now, because you want to know whether or not you're following the map or not, you use it live. Yeah, you interpret it live. And I teach that every day in the trading room, and Steve teaches it over in the stock index room. Yeah. And originally with the rooms, we did not have this as part of the service, but it is part of the service for each of the respective markets now at no additional cost. It's my opinion, and we used to have a service called MarketMappTrader.com that, like I said, I've been doing this for over 20 years, but the service is now part of the trading rooms. Yeah. But it's my opinion that the market mapping service on its own merit is worth the cost of the room. So if you like what you're seeing here and want to learn more, you can join the trading rooms, use key and coupon code special member at checkout for the best pricing. Yeah, special member. Yeah. Join us at the stockindextradingroom.com or the oiltradingroom.com. Or if you want to learn a little bit more about market mapping and probability stacking and all that stuff, go over to IndicatorSmart. If you want to learn how to build good trading systems and stuff like that, go over to IndicatorSmart. There's a lot of good content there for that. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us at the respective trading rooms or IndicatorSmart. Wishing you all a great weekend. I hope you enjoyed this webinar on Market Playbook, also known as market mapping. Thank you. Thank you. Have a great weekend.